Most men think the way to stay on a woman's mind is to say more, text more, show up more. They believe if they just keep talking, keep proving themselves, eventually she'll start thinking about them the way they think about her. That is backwards. And once you understand why, you will never approach a conversation with a woman the same way again. Think about the last time someone said something to you that you couldn't stop replaying. Not a long conversation, not a grand speech, just a handful of words. Maybe you didn't even understand why it stuck. It just did. That is not an accident. That is how memory actually works. And once you understand the mechanism behind it, you can use it on purpose instead of stumbling into it by luck. In this video, I am going to give you 3 words. Just 3. Not a script, not a line you memorize and recite. A principle disguised as a phrase. And once you hear it, you are going to realize you have been doing the opposite of this your entire dating life without even knowing it. But before I give you the 3 words, you need to understand something that most men never stop to consider: why some things stick in a woman's mind and other things vanish the second the conversation ends. Here is the truth almost nobody talks about. The brain does not remember conversations. It remembers feelings. You could spend 3 hours talking to a woman, cover 10 topics, make her laugh twice, and by the next morning, none of it survives because none of it created an emotional imprint. Meanwhile, a stranger could say 4 words to her in passing and she thinks about it for a week. That is not random. That is neuroscience. Dr. Elizabeth Phelps, a neuroscientist who has spent years researching memory and emotion at NYU, found that emotionally charged moments are processed and stored differently than neutral information. The amygdala, the emotional center of the brain, tags certain experiences as important, and those tagged experiences get prioritized for long-term storage. Everything else, no matter how pleasant, gets filed away and forgotten. This is why you can't remember what you had for lunch 3 Tuesdays ago, but you can remember exactly what someone said to you the day your heart broke or the day you fell for someone. Emotion is the filter. Emotion decides what gets to stay. So when a man tries to be memorable by talking more, being nicer, sending longer messages, he is optimizing for the wrong thing entirely. He is trying to win with volume when the brain only responds to weight. Now here is where it gets interesting, because most men do not just fail to create emotional weight. They actively destroy it without realizing it. Picture this. A man meets a woman he likes. The conversation goes well. He is nervous, excited, and so he does what feels natural. He keeps the momentum going. He texts her that night. He asks how her day was. He responds instantly to every message. He feels every silence because silence feels like risk. From his perspective, he is showing interest. From her nervous system's perspective, something very different is happening. Predictability is setting in. Once a woman can predict exactly how you will respond, when you will respond, and what you will say, her brain stops paying attention. Not because she dislikes you. Because the brain is wired to conserve energy, and predictable things do not require energy. They get filed under background noise, alongside elevator music and the hum of a refrigerator. You become comfortable. And comfortable, while pleasant, is forgettable. This is the part that stings for a lot of men to hear, but I need you to sit with it anyway. Being nice, being available, being agreeable, none of that is bad, but none of it is memorable either. Nice fades, impact stays. And most men have spent years being the nice, safe, predictable option, wondering why women describe them as sweet and then choose somebody else. So if constant effort backfires and safe conversation disappears, what actually works? This is where I need you to understand one more piece before I give you the 3 words, because without this context, the words themselves will sound too simple to matter. And I promise you, they are not simple, they are precise. The mind is drawn to what feels unfinished. Psychologists call this the Zeigarnik effect, named after Bluma Zeigarnik, a Russian psychologist who discovered that people remember interrupted or incomplete tasks far better than completed ones. Waiters in her studies could recall unpaid orders in perfect detail, but the moment the bill was settled, the memory of that order faded almost immediately. Completion closes the loop. The mind stops tracking it. Incompletion keeps the loop open, and an open loop demands to be resolved. Now apply that principle to a conversation. when you explain everything, when you answer every question fully, when you leave nothing to wonder about, you are closing loops as fast as you open them. There is nothing left for her mind to chew on later, because you already served her the whole meal. But when you say something that opens a question without immediately answering it, you plant something that her brain has to carry with her, because unfinished things are the ones the brain keeps returning to. This is the exact mechanism behind the 3 words I am about to give you. They do not work because they sound clever. They work because they open a loop that only she can close, and the only way she can close it is by continuing to think about you. The 3 words are this: guess what I noticed I know. On the surface, it sounds almost too plain to matter. No romance in it, no poetry. Just 4 syllables that sound more like the start of a text between co-workers than anything that could shift how a woman feels about you. That reaction, the one where you're slightly underwhelmed, is exactly why this works and why almost no one uses it correctly. Let me break down what actually happens in her mind the moment she reads or hears those 3 words. First, curiosity fires immediately because the sentence is deliberately incomplete. You have announced that an observation exists, but you have not delivered it. Her brain cannot help itself. It has to generate a guess, a dozen tiny hypotheses firing at once. What did he notice? Something about me, something I said, something I didn't think anyone caught. The brain hates unresolved questions, and you have just handed her one wrapped specifically around herself. Second, and this is the part that separates this from a gimmick, it signals attentiveness without a single ounce of effort spent proving it. Most men try to demonstrate interest through compliments, through long paragraphs about how great she is, through elaborate gestures. All of that reads as effort, and effort, when it is too visible, reads as neediness. But noticing something small and mentioning it in passing, without over-explaining, communicates something far more powerful than any compliment could. It says, I was paying attention to you even when I didn't have to be. That is a different category of message entirely. Third, and this is where the real payoff comes in, when you eventually reveal what you noticed, and you should, just not immediately, the specificity of it makes her feel seen in a way generic compliments never could. There is a massive difference between telling a woman she is beautiful, which she has heard 1,000 times from 1,000 men, and telling her that you noticed she laughs with her whole body when something actually catches her off guard, but goes quiet and polite when something is only kind of funny. The first is a compliment about her appearance that requires no observation at all. The second is proof that you were actually watching her, not just looking at her. This is what Dr. John Gottman, one of the most cited researchers in relationship psychology, refers to as attunement, the ability to notice and respond to another person's internal emotional state rather than just their surface behavior. His decades of research studying couples found that attunement, far more than romantic gestures or grand declarations, is what predicts long-term connection. People do not fall for those who compliment them the loudest. They fall for those who see them the most accurately. So here is how this actually plays out. You are talking to her in person or over text, and at some point you say it. Guess what I noticed? And then, here is the part almost every man gets wrong when he tries this. You wait. You do not immediately explain. You let the sentence sit there, unfinished, doing its work. If she asks, and she almost always will, because the brain cannot tolerate an open loop for long, that is when you deliver it, and it needs to be specific, real, and something you actually saw. Not a compliment you rehearsed. An observation you made. I noticed you go quiet right before you say something you actually mean. I noticed you always let other people order first. I noticed you laughed at that joke a full 3 seconds after everyone else, like you had to think about whether it was actually funny before you allowed yourself to enjoy it. These are not lines. These are proof of presence. And presence is the one thing almost no man in her life is offering her, because almost every man is too busy thinking about what he is going to say next to actually notice what is happening in front of him. Now, I need to give you the 3 ways men destroy this before it even gets a chance to work, because knowing the words is not enough. Knowing how to ruin them matters just as much. The first mistake is turning it into a script. The moment you start saying, "Guess what I noticed," in every single conversation, the effect collapses entirely. Novelty is the engine behind why this works, and novelty cannot survive repetition. Use it when you have genuinely noticed something, not as a conversational crotch you deploy on command. If it becomes a pattern, her brain will do exactly what it does with every other predictable input. It will stop reacting. The second mistake is over explaining the observation once you reveal it. You say the words, she asks what you noticed, and then instead of stopping at the observation, you keep going, you clarify, you justify, you tack on why you noticed it and what it means and how you think it says something about her personality. Stop. The moment you over-explain, you close the loop completely and remove the very thing that made it powerful in the first place, the space for her mind to keep working on it after the conversation ends. Say the observation, let it land, move on to something else entirely. The third mistake is tone. If you deliver this like you are trying to impress her, like you rehearsed it in the mirror, it reads as performance. And performance triggers suspicion, not attraction. It has to sound like something that occurred to you in the moment, almost like you weren't planning to say it out loud at all. That casual, almost accidental delivery is what makes it feel real instead of calculated. Here is a real scenario so you can see the entire arc. You have been talking to a woman for a few weeks. Nothing has happened yet that stands out. Conversations are pleasant but forgettable, the way most early conversations are. Then one day you text her, "Guess what I noticed?" She responds almost instantly. What? You wait a beat, not out of strategy, but because you're doing something else. And then you say, "You always type in full sentences, even in texts, like everyone else uses one-word answers and you refuse to. It's kind of funny." That's it. You don't ask a follow-up question. You don't explain why you find it endearing. You just move the conversation somewhere else entirely. What happens in her mind over the next few hours is the part most men never get to witness, because it happens when you are nowhere near her. She thinks about it, not because it was dramatic, because it was specific, because it was true, because nobody else had ever pointed it out, and because you didn't linger on it long enough for it to feel like flattery. It felt like a fact you happened to notice about her, the kind of fact only someone paying real attention would catch. This is the difference between being someone a woman talks to and being someone a woman thinks about. Talking requires her to be present in the moment with you. Thinking about you requires nothing from her at all, except that you gave her mind something worth returning to when you weren't there to keep the conversation going. And this connects to something deeper that most men never consider, which is that attraction was never actually about you being interesting enough. It was about whether you gave her mind a reason to keep working after the interaction ended. Every text message that gets answered and forgotten, every date that goes fine and leaves no residue, those failed not because you weren't good enough company. They failed because nothing you said or did required her brain to keep processing it once it was over. Guess what I noticed works because it hijacks that exact mechanism. It opens a loop with her name attached to it, and then it hands her the only way to close it, which is staying curious about you until she gets the answer, and even after she gets the answer, sitting with the fact that you saw something in her that nobody else bothered to look for. I want to leave you with one more thing before you go. Try this. This is not about manipulation. If you use this to fake attentiveness you don't actually have, it will fall apart, because eventually she will realize there was nothing behind the words. But if you genuinely start paying attention, actually watching how someone laughs, how they go quiet, how they order coffee the same way every single time without noticing they do it, you will never run out of things to notice. And the moment you start noticing real things about real people, you stop needing tricks entirely, because attention like that is rare enough on its own to be unforgettable. So here is your challenge. The next time you are with someone, whether it is someone new or someone you have known for years, actually watch them. Not to find something to say, just to see them. And when something genuine catches your attention, say those 3 words and then stop talking. If this shifted something in how you think about connection, Comment the words I noticed below, just that, nothing else. I want to see how many of you actually made it to the end and are ready to use this the right way, not as a line, but as a habit. Because the man who actually pays attention doesn't need tricks. He just needs to keep doing what almost no one else does anymore, which is looking closely enough to see something worth remembering.